Perfect your way to duck diving. The duck dive is the foundation of your entire dive. A good duck dive will have you at 5 meters with almost no effort, while a poor duck dive will leave you thrashing about, using up your precious oxygen supplies before you have even left the surface. The secret to a good duck dive is to make each component flow seamlessly into the next so that you use minimal effort to get your body and fins under the surface. It's very difficult at first to coordinate each stage, not to mention perform it upside down. So let us look at the forces at work and how to make them work to your advantage. Body positioning in preparation for a duck dive. The best position for starting a duck dive is on your front, breathing through a snorkel, as you are ready to start the duck dive without changing anything. You want to keep the dive line next to you so you can make sure you duck dive ahead of the line by about 1 meter. This ensures that when you duck dive, you are automatically facing the dive line and close enough for there to be no drag from the lanyard running along it. If, when you duck dive, you cannot immediately see the line, then get your instructor or buddy to take a look and see where in relation to the line you are starting the dive. Step 1. Snorkel, pre-equalization, and momentum. After taking your final breath, remove your snorkel and perform an equalization. Step 2. Put both arms in front of you and dive forward with your arms leading your upper body, bending at your hips to create a right angle. Step 3. Raise both legs out of the water together until vertical, making your body straight again. This will naturally create the momentum needed to push you under the water without having to make any additional effort. Step 4. Pull and equalize. The moment your legs are vertical, bring both arms back to the side of your body in a scooping brushstroke movement, before bringing one hand to your nose to equalize and then keeping it there. Step 5. Start finning. When your arms have pulled and you have equalized, start finning. If you complete these stages one after the other without a gap or overlap, you will find that your fins are completely under the water by the time you make your first proper equalization, and you will be around 5 meters deep. Make sure your finning is strong and effective in the first few meters, so as not to lose the depth achieved by a good duck dive. Duck diving with something in your hand. If you are holding a spear gun or camera, then it can be difficult to use both arms to pull with once your legs have been raised. Ensure that the rest of your technique is perfect and only pull with one arm unless your camera is small, as you don't want to bash yourself in the head with it. The most important thing is to get under the water, expending the minimum amount of energy. Duck diving with a nose clip or monofin. If you are diving with a nose clip, then you will not need to pre-equalize or use your hand, as you can equalize against the nose clip whenever you need to. You may find that if you're diving with a monofin, you want to keep your arms above your head for the duration of the dive. Just ensure that your monofin is completely below the surface before you start to fin. Common problems with executing a duck dive. When diving by a line, it can be tempting to pull on the line to help you get under the water if your duck dive is not very efficient. This is counterproductive and complicates and hinders the start of your dive. If you find this keeps happening, move away from the line to practice. Apart from coordinating the stages correctly, another common problem is that divers bring their upper body too far forward and then their legs too far over, thus doing a somersault and ending up back on the surface. Here, again, the line is a useful tool to help keep you vertical in the water. To summarize, an effective duck dive gets you under the water with the minimum amount of effort. Duck diving can be simplified by reducing it to the following steps. Last breath, snorkel out, pre-equalize. Arms reach down, hinge at hips. Legs come up in the air together. Arms pull and one hand comes to the nose to equalize. Legs start finning. If you follow these steps one after the other, then the duck dive will work perfectly for you. Make sure your duck dive is ahead of the line by about 1 meter so you end up facing the line on your descent. And use your instructor and buddy to critique your duck dive and help you improve.